Hi, it's Elle with RV Cooking. Well, today is a blustery day. We just got out of a mild blizzard. It's still some snowflakes in the air and catch some on our tongue. Anyway, it's a good day for hot cocoa. In lieu of Valentine's Day, right around the corner, in just a week or so, I'm going to make two different kinds of hot cocoa, a camper hot cocoa and a gourmet hot cocoa. So I'll see you inside. Hi, I'm Elle with RV Cooking. Today we are going to make camper's hot cocoa mix. So what we're going to do here, and this is going to be very low carb and very low sugar, if any. I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. This is Swerve. It's a sugar replacement. I believe it's just right here, erythritol and prebiotic oligosaccharides and all natural flavors. So this is what we're using. And it's 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And if you're not on a sugar restriction, you can just use regular powdered sugar. So there's 1 cup, and I need 1/2. That looks to be 1/2 there. I need to add a little bit more. Look at that powdered sugar dust. It's like fairy dust, right? That's my husband. Okay, that's about what I needed. I think this is pretty good stuff, especially when you're watching your sugar. Okay, now I'm not using regular milk. I'm going to use some cashew milk, dried milk, and some coconut milk powder milk. So here we go. I need 1 cup of this. And honestly, I've used almond milk whey powdered the last time I made this. It was a little, I don't want to, more kind of, not really gritty, but maybe kind of a floury kind of whey. But it still tasted good. But I'm going to try the cashew milk, since everyone swears that cashew milk is the closest to milk. And I'm going to put in 2/3 cup of coconut milk powder. That's about 2/3. Okay. And to make this extra good, I kind of like to put instant coffee into my hot cocoa mix. So I think 1 packet, it's about 1.5 teaspoons. And I want to measure it out because I'm not sure what this has in it, but I want to know. Oh, yeah, about 1.5 teaspoons. But I think instant hot cocoa is like a secret ingredient. Okay, this is really lightly salted. That's only like 1/4 teaspoon, if that. And I found last time the cinnamon really peaks the flavor of hot cocoa. And so I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then this is vanilla, and this is a dried hot cocoa mix. So I got this online. It's just vanilla powder, and I'm gonna add about it's almost 1 teaspoon. Well, it's not quite. It's about 1/2 teaspoon, and that's all that I'm comfortable with adding on that. because vanilla can be quite strong. So I'm going to mix this up, and I want it mixed in really well. I suppose if I really wanted to get it fine, I'd run it through a blender or something, but RV cooking, I don't have a blender. I do have a Ninja though, and I can't wait to show you how I'm going to ice this. I'm going to ice a hot cocoa mix, and I think it'll taste really good. So, okay, then we'll come back when I make. Oh, and the main ingredient, baking cocoa. This is just organic cocoa, and I need a cup of that. That's just a cup of organic baking cocoa. Okay, then you mix it all up. Happy Valentine's Day from RV Cooking with Elle. We're making Camper's Hot Cocoa. We made the mix, which I almost forgot. The cocoa, the actual cocoa, I almost forgot that. But luckily, there's editing, so that's good. So we're going to make hot cocoa and iced hot cocoa. And so I'm going to add some hot water first, because it always helps to mix this, you know, has some fluid on the bottom. So it does take quite a bit of the mix. That's about 1 tablespoon heaping, 2, 3 heaping tablespoons. And I'm going to add a little bit more water. And it is very hot. So I'm going to move everything down just a smidge. So we'll see how this... So you know we put in about 3, so I'm going to add to about there. And to me that looks like it might need a little more chocolate. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Okay. It does need a little bit more chocolate. So a full cup is probably almost 4 heaping tablespoons. It does mix up really well. Now you can add anything you want to your hot cocoa mix. You can even put some chili powder, or, you know, marshmallows or chocolate chips. Anything you want. So let's give this another try. That's pretty good. I do like the cashew milk. Okay, now I'm going to make an iced hot cocoa. So I'm making a little bit more. So that was about 4. So I need to put in about 6 in this, because I'm making quite a bit more. How many? Doesn't tell you the cups on this. I would say that's about 3 cups though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Add some more water. And I've made this with almond whey milk, the powdered. and it came out really good. And as I said, though, it was a little, and the texture was a little different than if you were to use real milk. You know, cow milk. Not real milk, but cow milk. So I'm going to fill this with some ice that we made up. My husband and I are going to do some reviews on ice trays for campers. We got a couple of ice trays, and there's one I really like. So that's full. So that's mixed up. Add your hot cocoa to it. And you can use a blender or whatnot. I have a Ninja. I do like this Ninja. It's pretty cool. Mostly because it only takes a few seconds to mix this.
I heard that.
Yeah. Okay. That's done. And I'm going to use a spoon to taste this. So here's the consistency. You can probably put in a little more ice if you wanted to. That's really good. It's excellent. So happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, part 2. Today we're making gourmet hot chocolate. And the difference between the cocoa and the chocolate, I'm using a chocolate bar, a baking bar. It's 4 ounces, and I cut it up and put it in this pan. You can do this many ways. You can put a smaller pan on top and fill this with water so you can heat it that way. Or you can microwave it to heat it. The only way, I like doing it this way, but you have to be careful not to burn the chocolate when you do it this way. This is the way I like to make it. I don't really like, I'm not a big fan of the microwave. We have one and it works really nice. The only thing I make in that microwave is microwave popcorn. My husband, he actually likes to warm his food. You know, if we have leftovers or something, but he's the one who mostly eats the leftovers, and I usually have a salad or something.
Consequently, I don't have to turn on a light when I get up at night.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the microwave, and I'm confident enough. I do have this on the lowest heat possible in warming this. Yeah, you don't want to turn it, this is as low as it'll go. You want to keep this on a low temperature when you're melting chocolate. It will burn easily. But I even make Rice Krispie treats this way. I don't use the microwave. I just melt the butter and then melt the marshmallows and add the Rice Krispies. But so I'm confident. I like making it this way. You make it how you like. But so we're melting the chocolate bar, and we'll come back to you. Okay, this is done melting. Didn't take any time at all. So this is the difference between hot chocolate and hot cocoa. Hot chocolate, you use a chocolate bar, and hot cocoa, you're using cocoa powder. And so now I'm going to do something just a little different. I'm going to turn this off. This is exactly how I want it. And I'm going to use some Cocoa Nibs in it. This is high antioxidant, and I just been experimenting with it. I've been putting it in some chocolate cake and everything, and it really tastes really good. So I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons into a grinder, a coffee grinder or a herb grinder. That's about 2 tablespoons. And I'm just learning about Cocoa Nibs, and you can't melt these. They don't melt. So you usually grind them up and put them in your cakes or whatnot, but you have to grind it. So here we go, grinding it. Okay. Oops. Lots of spill there. That didn't come out too well. Right, because I had it in the fridge. I keep it stored in the fridge, but getting this out. Okay, there's the Cocoa Nibs. And before I add that, I'm going to add some sugar. I'm going to add about a quarter cup of sugar. I'm using whole earth today, stevia leaf and monk fruit. So I like this pretty good. This is a really nice sugar. So about a quarter cup. It's a little more than a quarter cup. It's okay. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not much, just a pinch. And I'm going to put in the Cocoa Nibs. And I'm doing something a little different. I'm not using regular milk because I'm watching my sugars and carbs, and this is an almond plant-based milk alternative. So it comes like this. So you're going to add about a couple tablespoons and some water, but I'm going to add the water first. And this is hot water in the kettle, so I need to add about 2 cups of this. And that's about 2 cups, if not a little more. Okay. And I'm going to give this a quick stir. Okay, and the Cocoa Nibs will not melt. So they'll just be in there. It doesn't hurt to drink them, or you can use a French press to press out the Cocoa Nibs. Okay. This is the almond base, and I need about 4 tablespoons of this to make. So that's 1. 2. It needs to be a little stirred, so I'm going to stir it a little bit. Okay, that should do it. Okay, and I'm going to turn this back on to a low temperature. I'm going to turn it to about 2. I'm calling this Gourmet Hot Cocoa. So, impress your friends.
Or sweeten up your enemies.
Now I'm going to put in my whisk. And whisk it up. And still feel that some of the almond milk concentrate hasn't melted yet. And of course, I am. If you're wondering where I got this online. So Amazon offered this, and I wanted to try it with the hot cocoa. So I don't know how it'll turn out. This is my first time using this product. But I think it sounded pretty good. And I've tried using nibs before. I tried roasting them, and they turned out really nice. And I've not ground them into the cocoa powder yet, and but they won't melt. So it's kind of like a coffee bean, where you kind of, you grind your coffee beans and then you put it in, your strainer, and you let hot water go over it. And that's looking quite nice, I think. And so basically, a cocoa nib is the same thing as a coffee bean. You're just grinding it up and getting the flavor out with hot water, or steaming it, or like in your coffee maker. But, excuse me. I'm going to use my French press to strain out the little bits of cocoa nibs that we didn't, so that it's the same thing as a coffee maker. It's the same thing as coffee. I think that's looking pretty close to done. And what you're seeing on this whisk is the coffee nibs. So. Okay. I think it looks quite rich. It's really good. The nibs are a little pieces like chocolate chips, and it's quite rich, but it's good.